Also, here's just a reminder, the final table. Portugal, we already knew they were group winners. Turkey will go through in second place. Georgia make it through as one of the best third place teams. The big losers as a result of what happened in Group F are not only Czechia, but also Hungary, because they are squeezed out of the reckoning in the race to become one of the best third place finishers. So we will talk about that win for Turkey and a bit of controversy with it as well, Richie, but is tonight really in so many ways about Georgia?
It is, yeah. It's a huge night. It's a huge result. They brought so much to the tournament. The team selection of Portugal, I think, will be a talking point for a lot of people. I think for the Czechs that have gone out in this group, there'll be often comments about the sporting integrity of the competition when you throw it in the last game, but I think you're entitled to play whatever team you want, and they've earned the right to pick whatever team they want. But huge win. The game we were watching wasn't bad either. Like that second half, there was just a wildness to it. I've lost count of the yellow. I think there was 18 yellow cards and a second red card in the melee and the final whistle. 3 of them for Czechia's substitutes. Yeah, I think 4 altogether went to people on the bench. Yeah, brilliant game of football. It was just the Czechs, for a team that had a man less for so long, the guts and the heart and the energy that they put into it, and even Turkey, to be fair to them, at no stage were they hanging on to the draw because they knew that was enough. They were pushing on for a winner, but edge your seat stuff was great. You're all in this. I get the sense you're feeling sorry for Czechia.
I have a huge amount of sympathy for them. Not for the reasons that Richard said. That's their kind of DNA in terms of like the character which they show, the kind of collective unity. Everybody pulling for each other, defend as if their lives depend on it, and carry a certain level of attacking threat. Haven't got the best technical players, but they understand their weaknesses and they know their strengths. And they hang around. That's all I can say. Whenever I see them play, they might be playing the best football, but they hang around in games. You can't count them out. And they were in it right up until the last minute of that game. I think they've been really hard done by. The big decisions of the game have gone against them, I feel. And they'll be, I think you saw that frustration come out at the end of the game in terms of how they reacted after the final whistle. They put everything into that game. They're absolutely devastated. And I think they have just cause and reason to believe that the big decisions, like I said, didn't go in their favour. And we will be looking into those because you've picked out ones in particular in a little while. But those scenes there from Turkey, that's the third time now they've ever got out of the group. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, in the stadium, and you can imagine the scenes back in Turkey, back at home as well, I'm sure. Looks like half of them, were they in the stadium? Well, probably, and obviously a lot of Turkish people in Germany in general anyway. But imagine back in the country of Turkey, always brings you back as a kid watching the Irish teams grow up, you know, the scenes when they had a good result and qualify out of the group stages. But yeah, it's a special night for Turkey, of course. Brilliant scenes. And yeah, our game was a crazy game as well, as so many cards, and the referee, I don't know if he lost it, but at the same time it felt like he was losing control, and there was a free-for-all at the end. It looked a bit like a Gaelic match at the end when they were all sort of piling in. Shots fired, Jay. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. It's in like, you know, they lost the game and everyone was piling in for a free-for-all at the end. I actually quite a bit of a throwback, Joanne. But it goes to show you, it doesn't have to be a highly technical game for you to enjoy it. That wasn't perfect. Look at the misplays, passes, etc. Wasn't a huge amount of fantastic 9 out of 10 individual performances. Yeah, yellow cards. We had the red card. Obviously, it wasn't perfect by no means, but there's a real intensity to the game. Edge of your seat stuff. It was fantastic. There was intensity, there was fieriness, there was all sorts happening in that game. Here is the road to the final as it stands. The round of 16 fixtures: Spain against Georgia, Germany against Denmark, Portugal against Slovenia, France against Belgium, all on the one side of the draw. On the other side, you've Romania against Netherlands, Austria against Turkey, England against Slovakia, and Switzerland against the defending champions, Italy. We will show you this again several times throughout the remainder of the programme. We will talk in detail about those games in a little while. But first of all, we want to talk about exactly what it was that helped Turkey to that victory over Czechia this evening. Now, all the goals, well, the first 2 goals anyway, there was plenty of controversy over them. Let's have a look at the one that put Turkey ahead. Well, I've got a lot of sympathy, you know, as the next goalkeeper for Stanek, the Czech goalkeeper here. If you keep an eye, he makes a brilliant save from the elders. You see it here, it's a brilliant right-handed save. But when making that save, Joanne, he actually dislocates his shoulder. So you can see in the minute he's in desperate trouble. But take nothing away from the strike. Chananoglu, it's a phenomenal strike from him. It really is. Watch the keeper. We've just lit him up here to keep an eye on him, look.
This page he's dislocated his shoulder. I've done that myself. The pain, you would not believe the pain he's in right now. You can see right at the depth, he sticks his left hand up to try and get someone to stop. And we were scrambling around trying to get the laws of the game. See there now, his left hand to try and get people to stop. And the only thing we were kind of saying here off air was like, the only mistake the keeper's made after making that brilliant save was actually getting up and trying to save. Because I'm not sure exactly, but if he had stayed down and they had scored, would VAR, would the referee said no, we have to take that back, or would fair play come in and would would check up the other end of the field and score against nobody? I don't know, because we've seen the ref stop for head injuries or for like somebody with their lace open there at this stage. But that was a genuine injury, dislocated his shoulder. And as I said, I've been there myself. The pain that keeper's in is unbelievable. So you have to feel for him. He's
got to make a split-second decision of whether it's a natural reaction, you want to jump up and make the next save. But if he's smart, I think if he stays down and allows that ball to go into the net, I think VAR have to have a look at it. And I think they go back and they disallow that goal. I don't think necessarily fair play comes into it. I understand the point Shane makes. I think they disallow. If that keeper stays down, an injury to a goalkeeper. I remember a game of Stadium of Light. Disallowed a beach ball was in the penalty box. Remember that a couple of years ago? There was a beach ball. The goal was scored.
Allowed, wasn't it? Darren Bent scored.
We disallowed that. This is a goalkeeper dislocated his shoulder in extreme pain. He's on the ground, but the fact that he gets up and presents himself towards the ball.
But you don't blame the goalkeeper. I've done that. You're jumping up no matter what. If you can get up, you're up to try and save it, But you just feel for him, because it's a great save. He's dislocated his shoulder, and it's just I don't know. It's just a brilliant strike at the end.
It's a lot to ask of the keeper. I know the point you're making. In the moment when all bullets are flying everywhere, and you've just made a really good save, and the attack is still going, you're still in defending mode, to have the presence
What's
of
the
mind.
rules of the game?
Yeah, to go, hang on here, let's just step back here.
We spent ages looking through the laws of the game when we couldn't find it.
So to expect the keeper, I know you're not saying you do expect him, but it's a lot to ask of the keeper to have the presence of mind to think strategically here. If I go down, this could work now. Exactly.
So Turkey then, they go 1-up, Czechia down to 10 men. They know they're on their way out of the competition. Plenty of controversy about their goal as well.
Yeah. Again, Shay said at half-time that the long throw-ins and set pieces would be their biggest threat, and it turned out to be the case. I love that this was allowed, no offside decision to make, but that there was some kind of a contact between the goalkeeper and the forward there, but Jory, and there was a discussion about whether or not that touches his arm, but obviously VAR hasn't given it. But this, so many times, the slightest of touch against a goalkeeper, and it's a free kick to the goalkeeper, but they played on. Brilliant defending there from McCaden on the line, and Souček was there to score what I think they deserved at that moment in the game, because of their effort and their attitude,
what you would
positivity.
Say on Greenock on the goalkeeper, it is quite refreshing, and I don't mind seeing that. But what the goalkeeper will look at that and goes, when you're stretching over top of someone, Joanne, as a goalkeeper, he should come and really punch it, because the guy came on, the striker came off, he was an absolute giant, So read the situation, go and punch it, and then clear your lines.
He misjudged it by trying to catch it.
He was trying to catch it, and the guy was so big, he pulled the ball down onto him.
But if you notice, Jordy, we spoke about first half, when you're jumping in there, natural reaction for your elbows to come up, he distinctly kept his arms by his side, so it was only minimum contact with his body with the goalkeeper. I think that's why he was allowed to stand. He puts his arms up. I think it's disallowed.
You've all made the case for why the Czechs could well feel aggrieved. So why don't you show us in footage why?
I don't think this is going to get a mention in the newspapers tomorrow. I'll be very surprised. But for me, referee's got this all wrong. It's Yaziki 2v1. He's no right to get on the end of this. Now, the referee gives a free out. For me, gets it totally wrong. Look, this is 4 or 5 times. Have a look at Yaziki here. Ball bounces off his abdomen. For me, Demarai trips himself up, then panics, puts his hand on the ball.
That's a handball there.
Yeah.
It's initial handball. That's outside the box, so it plays on. He trips under his own feet. I see no contact between Yaziki there and Demarai. And if there's no contact, it's then a penalty kick for the Czechs. The referee has to give it. And if he's unsure, Joanne, he shouldn't blow his whistle. He should allow play to go. If the goal is scored, then VAR can have a look back at it and
this is the sending off from the first half.
This is the first half as well.
I think obviously the first one's definitely a booking. The second, I think we're all a bit like it could have went either way. I think it's a poor second decision. I mean, the ref was handing out cards like confetti the whole night. Joanne,
But you were all talking about what a fiery game it was.
No, a fiery game, but at the same time, this is after 20 minutes. This is sort of ruined for the Czechs, and they still were in it to the death. But again, as Kenny rightly said at half-time, when you clear the ball, your foot has to come back down to the ground. It can't just disappear. So I think they're really hard done by there.
What about people who could say, yeah, but Turkey came back and scored another goal?
Yeah, but they were flooding bodies forward. Czech were throwing the kitchen sink. It was inevitable they were going to break and probably score. And yeah, they got a great goal. Tossin was when they got the goal. Yeah, it was inevitable. You can imagine in the last minute you have to score, Joanne. So again, they were flooding bodies forward, and it's a brilliant finish. I mean, Everton fans watching will remember him playing for their club, obviously, but he's cut inside, and you know, you just feel for the Czechs again. They're all out on their knees. They know the party's over, and they're going home.
See how many they have, like 1, 2, 6.
All the bodies forward.
6v4, and at that stage, think of the fatigue that's in those Czech players' legs, the shift that they've put in all night, cuts inside, and a really good finish. That's it. Game over then at that point.
Yeah, game over. So it means that Turkey do go on. It means that the Czechs go out. It also means that Hungary goes out. And a reminder that Georgia also go on after their 2-0 win over Portugal.